I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And we're about to do something completely different for our channel. If you're new to the channel, what's up? How are you doing? Check out our other content. It's going to be great. It's going to change your life. Okay. We are going to be doing This Is America by Childish Gambino. We're going to be showing you...
This is outside of the metal we usually do.
Outside of the metal we usually do.
Too much talk about this one. We got to jump on.
Yeah, and we got a request from it in the village. So... You know, it happens. Bonus video. We are going to be doing it, and we're going to be walking you through the video, and you're going to be able to watch the video with us.
What? We can't do that. Okay, there's copyright stuff, so we can't do it. We've tried it 1,000 times, a bunch of different ways. There's like no way getting around it. So we have to just watch it, sadly, and listen to it ourselves, and explain it to you as we go, and then... just kind of work with it, because we're not trying to get around like not being paid, because most of our videos we're not getting paid for any of our videos, but even if we could, there's so many copyright stuff on this stuff. It's...
Yeah, 90% of our videos are unmonetizable.
Right.
If that's a word.
We're trying to respect the music too much.
So we just let the thing play all the way through and all that, and because of that, you don't get monetized. So we're not doing that because we're worried about monetization.
Right.
It's just they don't want to do it.
Right. So it literally won't upload. Like,
we have tried everything. We're not even
blocked in 240 different countries.
Yeah. It's blocked in Afghanistan. It was blocked in Belarus. I mean, it was blocked like crazy. They were serious. They're like, y'all ain't getting nothing. So we're gonna watch it. You know what the video is, but we're gonna watch it. We're gonna react to it, talk about some of the symbolism, and there you go. All right, so here we go. Childish Gambino. Stop whenever you want. I'll stop whenever I want, and then we'll just talk about it.
Okay, sounds good.
My man is looking mad evil right now. He just shot that dude, and we've got a still. I mean, you can see it right now, I'm sure. So here we go. He just shot this dude, and I think so. What do you got so far? Well,
I mean, I was so confused by this song the first time I saw it, and then I've watched it a couple of times to kind of get a feel for it. It looks like that while this guy was just chilling, like all clean and comfortable or whatever, like we got distracted by this dancing guy, and the next thing we turn around, the guy's being killed. But then the dancing starts right back up again. It kind of seems like that the entertainment industry is meant, like, it's showing us that the entertainment industry distracts us from the violent things or the things that are actually going on.
Yeah.
Because in the meantime, the guy was clean when he walks up, and then when he comes over and gets shot, like, he's all dirty and he's got a bag over his head, but we don't know what happened to him. We just know that there was some pretty terrible things that happened to him right before he got shot. We don't see any of that because all we see is the guy dancing. Well,
I mean, it's interesting because the guitarist is an artist and an entertainer at some level.
Yep.
And so is the dancer.
Right.
And so what makes a determination between which artist is going to get shot and which artist is going to be able to dance around and whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I'm speculating here, but it seems like that guy that was sitting down on the chair was probably saying like significant stuff.
Yeah.
And then he gets blown away by the dude that's basically doing the blackface thing, because you know that pose that he took when he shot the guy was a Jim Crow like poster pose of like, you know, stereotypical black people and all that. Oh. He took that pose.
Oh, so okay. So like, I wondered why he did that. I'm like, what is that stand?
Yeah, so, and I'll show you, you know, now you guys can see that now too. But, so he takes that stance when he shoots the guy.
Okay.
And it's symbolic of like, you have the true pure artist who's just playing his guitar, who's probably saying something significant. He gets blown away. He gets killed by the basically dancing, basically sellout, coon, Uncle Tom, whatever you want to call it, artist who is acceptable to the man.
Okay.
You know,
that makes sense.
What was interesting to me, but did you see like at the beginning of the video, his face kind of glitched a little bit?
No.
His face kind of glitched when he started dancing, like... You see that right there?
I wouldn't call that a glitch. He like made this weird face.
Yeah, it was like
what was that?
Okay, so you remember Get Out?
Yeah.
Remember the movie Get Out, and they were under like that spell?
Yes.
But then when the camera flashed or whatever, they were able to kind of like get back to reality for 2 seconds. It seems like he's trapped. Like, I'll tell you why this is my theory. I think initially he's trapped and he's trying to get out, but he's playing this role, and I'll explain why my theory. You know, why I think my theory is right. That he's trapped inside of this. I think it's a guy who all his life wanted to be in the music industry. Now he's in the music industry, but then he's seeing things, but then he can't do. He's got to play a certain role, and his role, to your point, was the distraction, right? So that's pretty crazy.
Oh, we never talked about the gun being wrapped up as they're dragging this guy off. So the guy gets shot in the back of the head, and then this kid rolls up with this red cloth, and then they immediately put the gun in there, and it gets wrapped up in the cloth, and then the body of the actual human being just kind of gets dragged off after the gun is taken care of first.
Yeah. Yeah. And the gun is treated in this very nice, like, respectful way.
At first when I saw it, I'm like, oh, they're wiping the prints off it.
Well, nobody's even going to prosecute this guy.
I know. Nothing's happening.
He's just, as long as
he keeps dancing.
As long as he keeps dancing, the cops are cool with him. Everybody's cool with him. But yeah, so what do you think the significance of the padding being red?
Is the Republican Party red? Is that?
Well, yeah, you got red states and you got blue states, right?
Yeah. So
the symbology is really interesting because you have, this gun, was the tool that was used for this crime, and instead of like everybody running to the guy who got shot, you got these people running to basically cover up the gun and make sure the gun's okay and placed on this red velvet, which I think is a not very low key call out to the right wing in the NRA and all that.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because every time there's like a gun death or some horrible tragic gun death, it triggers two very equal opposite extreme reactions, right?
Yep. I think that you remember that you showed me that interview that I don't know if he was I don't even know what the guy was. He was basically relaying the story or something, and he got very emotional talking about the kids.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Jimmy Kimmel. I forgot who it was, but it was a late night talk show host. And so he started crying because, he's like, we got to do something about these gun deaths.
Yeah, but he was saying like everybody, there's always like this immediate response to either protect the gun laws, protect the guns, or go on the other side and say, like it's not even focused on the death of the people. It's just, it's about gun first. What are we gonna?
Well, that's the thing, is that the left side still doesn't center the victims. The left wing centers the gun, and the right side centers the gun. So when you make the gun the center of the issue, those people who are reacting on the right wing side of it, they want to make sure that the gun is protected. And I'm sure
the body just gets dragged off in this inhumane fashion. Dragged off.
Yeah, and I'm sure that any self-respecting Republican person would say that's bullshit. Like, we do care about the people that died. It's just we care about our rights, and so it's this like eternal conflict.
Well, they'll probably say this is how we're protecting it, so that doesn't happen more.
Yeah,
I would think that's what would be said.
Sure.
Okay, so the youth just showed up and they're dancing with him too. What is he saying at this point? This is America. Don't catch you slipping up.
Don't catch you slipping up. Police be tripping. Police be tripping now.
Okay, is he
Look
saying...
how I'm living now.
Is he saying, as long as you follow, like, stay within the boundaries of what society expects of you, then you're going to be good, and, but don't slip up on that, or the cops are going to catch up to you?
Yeah.
And he's got all these youth around him. What do you think, like, is the industry now taking the youth in and distracting them from the major issues?
Well, I mean, all these entertainers, I mean, they're entertaining kids for the most part. High schoolers. I mean, these kids look like the kids I used to take the train with. We would go off to Truman High School, and then the kids would take a left and go to the private school. They were, and what's interesting is look how they're dressed.
That's what I was going to ask you. Why are they wearing
uniforms?
Yeah, they're in uniforms.
School uniforms.
Why are they in school uniforms?
So these are like privileged black private school kids.
Yeah.
So what that means is, at some level, they're removed. These are not kids who are going, I'm assuming here, but these kids are private school kids who are removed from violence like Chicago or the Bronx where I came up. They're not in that situation. So they're just dancing, having fun. We need to screenshot this too because he looks evil again.
Yeah, he does.
He looks evil
Why do we
as
keep
hell.
pausing on the evil parts?
Well, maybe he looks evil the entire time.
And we just missed it because of the dancing.
Yeah, so like he's leading the pack, but he's really, really evil. He's like this evil black Pied Piper kind of figure.
Yeah.
Right?
Pied Piper, yeah. You're right.
And but these are kids who are like removed from those conflicts. Like they're removed from police shootings and all that because all this stuff a lot of this is happening in the inner city. So they think everything is all good because he's dancing.
Wow.
Because a lot of these artists, especially rap artists, came from the hood where a lot of this gun death and gun violence and brutality is happening. So if that guy's dancing, we're good. Everything is good.
Oh, wow.
Right, like the role of the artist in this is very interesting. So one of the artists gets killed like immediately, and then this guy, he gets a following, and it's interesting. The guy that had the guitar initially, they put the bag over his head, so now his identity is gone. You can't see him. You can't hear him, so he's silenced.
Yes.
So his identity is stripped away, and his instruments taken away. And his voice is taken away, and then he gets killed.
Wow.
But this guy gets, he gets there unfettered. What's interesting though is that you'll notice he's the only one that doesn't have a shirt on.
Yeah. Why?
It probably having to do with he's the main distraction. One is he's probably a slave because the slaves were working with their shirts off in that weather.
Well, if he has to follow what they're telling him to do, then he's essentially a slave of their mentalities and their thoughts. Because art is supposed to be an expression of, it's supposed to be a freedom. Like, you're supposed to be able to express yourself liberally. But if you're being constricted on what you can and can't say and what you can and can't sing about, and you have to follow a certain whatever, then it's, the art is lost.
Well, yeah, and a lot of times art is supposed to function to criticize a given culture. I mean, that's one of the functions of art is to act as sort of the conscience of your culture.
Sure.
And so that's why a lot of tyrants, one of the first things they do is they either go to the artists and recruit them or kill them. So like if you look at Nazi Germany, that's what Hitler did.
Wow.
So because any intelligent tyrant realizes the importance of the artist.
But if you're recruited, you essentially become a slave.
Well,
what this guy's
of course, there is a whole back history to Black Americans, right? Because he's got no shirt and he's got chains around his neck. But the chains are jewelry, so you're good, right? But in reality, you're still a slave of the music industry.
Wow! Oh my gosh! Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And so now he's leading all, but so he's a slave, but he's leading all these well-to-do kids to dance around and ignore what they just saw. Right?
Well, yeah, because isn't this the kid that wrapped the gun?
Yeah, one of the kids that wrapped up the gun and saw that violence is now dancing.
Right.
It's crazy. And that's why he's got that evil face, because he's doing something really evil.
Wow. Okay. Why are all those people running around in the background?
Well, there's a bunch of chaos that happened after the guy got shot. And as the video progresses, it turns out into out-and-out anarchy.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, that's what happens in the country every time, like, one of these shootings happens.
Right.
The country goes, ah! And the job of the artist is to go, that's right, this sucks. But instead, the job of the artist is to say, come on, guys.
Let me distract you.
Hey, where the party at? Let me distract you. It's the older people, like, you can see, like, the kids are dancing. It's kind of older people right now who are running around frantic. Because older people understand this shouldn't happen.
Not good, yeah.
The younger kids are like, oh, he's dancing, we're good.
Wow. He just walks right by the cop car like that.
Yeah, the cop is fine with him blowing all those people away.
Whoa, did you see that guy fall off the edge?
Oh, yeah. We pretty much cracked the code of what his function is in the video. So we look past him.
Yes.
We cracked the code of what he was supposed to be. So now you've trained yourself to look past him. To look at all the shit that's going on. This guy
but the
fell
first
off
time
the
I
building.
saw, all I could see was his dancing, and look at that
all
guy.
you can see is dancing. He's got his shirt off. He's like, hey, what's going on?
The dance was kind of weird.
This is a weird situation where this grown man is dancing and all these kids are behind him. Like, the hell is going on here? Meanwhile, somebody just fell off a bridge. You don't even know. Don't even know.
What's going on with these workers with all their things covered on their... Oh, I don't know. Are they workers? They all got stuff on their faces. What is that?
Well, it's stuff covering their mouths. So again, they don't have a voice.
But they all have their phones out.
Everybody's got their phone.
So they can't Again, they're not seeing what's going on because they're distracted. Do you think that's what it is?
Well, in the song, lyrically, he says, "This is a celly," right? Yeah. This is a tool right there. Watch me move. Blow. This is a celly. Ha. That is a tool. So the cell phone is a tool. So what is a tool? Is the cell phone a tool for what? It's more distraction.
Yeah, because they all look distracted and there's all this craziness going on down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're hanging out like
what
they're
do you think they're
break.
watching on the phone? Probably him doing his little dancing.
Probably.
Or us commenting on him doing the dancing.
Right. Meanwhile, the whole... oh, wow.
Look at that. That's crazy. You see that horse in the background?
Yeah.
That's spooky.
Nobody sees a thing.
You know what that is, right? The horse?
Nope.
Well, think about it. Who's on the horse?
Black Rider?
Yeah.
Death?
Yeah, that's Revelation.
I was wondering. But I didn't think that would be in this song.
Well, it says hell followed him. Hades.
That's
Greek.
mad creepy.
That is very creepy. So, like, everybody's dancing around this dude now, and then nobody sees the, in Revelation, it says, you had the four horsemen.
Yep.
And you had, it's plague of war, famine.
Yep.
And then the last one was death, and it said hell followed after him. And what's following after him?
Well, I know there's a car on fire.
There's a cop. Well, it's a cop car.
Is that cop car following?
Well, it's behind. We paused the video. You should probably screenshot this too. We paused the video, and there's riding over here. There's the kids dancing, and now they're like surrounding the guy. And then the ride. But here's the crazy thing: even the riders are distracted from the horse.
Yep.
That's spooky.
Yep. Because the riders think that they're woke. See what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
They think that they're woke and they're not realizing.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're not realizing there's a deeper conspiracy going. Like, he just completely spiritualized this whole thing now. Right? So, don't come at me and say, oh, you're a Christian, you're trying to impose your stuff. This is Revelation chapter 6.
Wow.
Read it, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So it's crazy to me. I don't think he meant to do this, but from our perspective, like, this is ultimately what's going on.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Like, there's a spiritual element to all this type of craziness. So, like, this guy is a distraction device for all these kids.
Yep.
And the rioters believe that they know what's going on. And none of them are dealing with the agent of Satan, basically.
Yep.
Which is like, all of you are dead. All of you are dead.
Wow.
There's spiritual forces that are behind all of this. But we're so crazy with our entertainment, and then the writers are judging the entertainment people. And meanwhile, like, if you were the devil, right, you'd be like, ha, silly human. All right, go ahead.
Wow, I did not understand this part. I heard him talking about contraband, and now he's like stuck in a shooting pose. And then I think he
pulls out a joint.
Lights up a joint.
We got medical marijuana. We got legalized marijuana now.
Yep. Where did all the kids go? When he took out that thing, all of a sudden they were like, oh, wait, goodbye. When he was faking to shoot, and then all the kids disappeared, took off, and then he took out a joint. What do you think that means?
I don't really think that's significant. I just think it changed scenes. But did you hear what he just said?
What?
I just checked my following list.
Yeah, I heard that.
You owe me. Basically, social media, Facebook, Twitter, he's got, 10 million followers or whatever. So now he's telling America owes him. Basically, he's coming in, he's basically saying, you wanted me to distract all these kids.
Yep.
All these people.
And I did it.
I got 10 million, so now you owe me. Because I did my job. Like, that's crazy. And in the middle of that, what are you hearing? Grandma told me, black man, get your money. Right? Because who's suffering all this gun violence in America for the most part?
Black people.
From this guy's perspective, now I'm not going to take a perspective, but from his perspective and his view of the world and his view of the country, black folks are suffering the most gun violence, whether it's from black on black crime or whether it's an inordinate amount of police engagements of young black unarmed men, right? And so he's playing the role of basically the Uncle Tom, the sellout, saying, hey, I did my part. Look, I got all these followers. So now you owe me. So now he's now this is significant. So he's got his weed, right?
Yeah. And he's still dancing. Now, there's that guy that randomly got shot at the beginning. He's still got the bag on his head, and he's playing the guitar. And then you have this girl that looks like she's... No. It looks like a...
You know what I think this is?
What?
I think this is actually... This scene is a scene before he shot that guy. So it's like a break. It's like going back into the past. Because the guy's still alive. But although I will say he's got the hood over his head.
And he's got the bag. Maybe now he's more on top. He's setting the standard. I don't know. Maybe he's telling him, like, look, if you want to play music, fine, we'll give you your guitar back, but you're going to play with a bag on your head.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He conform.
As long as you conform, you're good.
Right.
You'll have your music back.
You can live.
I mean, look at how free he looks, dancing on top of the car, smoking a joint. I mean...
Well, you know what's interesting is Michael Jackson had a famous... I think it was the Dangerous video, where he was dancing on top of a car. Oh, and he was smashing it. I know you know nothing about Michael Jackson, but anyway, he was a black man dancing on top of a car, you know, like for entertainment. What's interesting is all these cars are really like played out. They're not very, important cars.
Yeah.
They're all just like old cars.
So you think that that's something too?
Yeah, it's very strange because...
Okay, you can have your freedom and you can dance on top of cars, but you're not going to get the best of the best because at the end of the day...
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's the message because in most rap videos and a lot of like pop rap, that's the big thing is bragging about having expensive foreign cars. Yeah. And so here in this video, he's dancing on top of a bunch of cheap cars. Yeah. So it's like the antithesis of your standard rap video. In standard rap video, these guys are driving around in like $500,000 cars and all that stuff. And I think the point is you sold out all these people for was it worth it, basically, I think is the idea. So all these rappers that are talking about cars and all that, if you look at that, if you look at those cars, you'd be like, yo, that wasn't that significant to do that. To be a sellout like that. You did it for that type of car. And I think the point is to say to all these entertainers and these rappers, because he's a rapper himself. He's an entertainer himself, which is, okay, well, that's not that far off from what all of us have participated in. You know, because a lot of, it's this whole black man, get your money. You know, and it's interesting. They're gonna find you that blaka blau, which is a lot of rap music is about violence toward other black people. Right. So on top of the fact that black people are black artists are being the #1 distraction device, we're also the #1 device of self-destruction. Because a white person can't come up with a rap song talking about killing niggas. Right. Can you imagine? You can't do that as but we can because you're gonna get your money and that's what sells. And there's a sort of overarching conspiracy theory as why is that okay? Like Farrakhan brought this up, like why like would it be okay if a rapper came out and started talking about killing Jewish people? Obviously not. But why is it okay when black people talk about killing black people? So like there's like this like overarching conspiracy about black folks in the music industry. Yep. But here he's not even going to that question. He's just saying, hey, these people who are cool with our destruction are promoting people who are promoting self-destruction. Get your money. Blah. Right? And then at the end of it, he's standing upon this car, basically, and it's a worthless car. And I think that that's the point. Like, you're doing all this for all this money, but at the end, it's all worthless because in 20 years, maybe 30 years ago, that was a badass car. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. Why? What about the girl? What do you think she means?
I don't know. I have no idea. Hit us up in the comments if you figured that out. He stopped dancing though. You see that? Yep. See what he's saying? You're just a black man in this world. You're just a barcode. Yeah. Bing! You're making money.
You're just making money for other people or for himself. Is he singing about himself, or is he saying this is how they viewed me?
Well, both, because he's basically...
He's running now. Looks like something.
A barcode, it's the product code. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he's making money for himself. If he made money for himself, then he definitely made money for the...
inevitably.
But you see that right there? He says, you're just a black man in this world driving expensive foreigns. See what I said?
Yeah.
About the cars. Mm-hmm. So I think he placed those cars right before that section of the song to say... In reality, this is what you're really doing. Yeah, you get all these expensive cars, but are the cars worth what you're doing? Selling yourself out, selling your soul, that type of thing.
Whoa. Okay.
So now look at him.
Well, if it's about selling yourself, do you think that girl kind of looked a little bit like maybe she was selling herself?
That she was a prostitute?
Yeah, so maybe that was the reference there. He's selling himself out on the cars, she's on the hood of the car.
Well, yeah, I mean, that goes hand in hand in rap videos. In every rap video, you're going to have a rich black dude with a black girl on the car in a sort of a provocative stance. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then, in a sense, when he's selling himself out, he's also selling out his sisters.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look how he looks now.
He looks scared.
He looks scared, but he looks scary too.
Yeah.
Like, look at his face. Oh, watch. Hit play. Watch it progress. Look at that. Hit pause. Hit pause right there.
He looks scared to me.
Yeah, he does. He's scared to death. But this is what I mean. Like, I think if you, like, take a screenshot right there. Like, let's say you woke up and you saw that face.
I'd be scared.
It's like, it almost looks like a demon, right? And they did something with the edited to make him look blacker than he usually is. But remember when I said at the beginning that he was like in the Get Out thing where he was like trying to get out?
Yes.
And he was trying to, he was like flinching and all that. Like, I think this is when he finally wakes up and figures it out. And you see that he's running, and he's running from the cops now. See what I'm saying?
See, he doesn't look scary. He looks scared.
Well, now, but hold on. Like, when you see it, when he goes into the light, now you see that he's not as scary as he looked when he was in the dark.
Yep.
Consequently, he's also not as dark as he looked in the dark. Okay. So that's interesting. But he's scared now, and he's being chased by white folk. And so what I'm saying is, was
it just white people? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, my theory is that this is when he wakes up and realizes what he's doing and wants to get out of the system. Look, now he's getting chased all over the place, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, did you see the lines right before? He said something about you're being I can't see the lyrics, but he said something about you're a big dog. I kenneled him in my backyard.
Yeah.
So he's realizing, I'm a big dog. But wait a minute, at the end of the day, if he doesn't follow the status quo, then he's in a kennel, and if he tries to get out of that.
Yep. And that's this is what I'm saying. Like, now he hit that moment of realization, and he's trying to get out of that hole. But the whole set of the video, it seems like it's in like a prison.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get out, and they're now saying, whoa, wait a second, come back here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, prison, or like, to me it looks more like an institution, or like a like a warehousey sort of thing where, like when, remember how the workforce, like how, when all of a sudden, like that came in, you became a slave of like your job, like when they started doing the shifts and stuff like that. Like I remember I saw a documentary years ago on that. So maybe it has something to do with that too. Like how his job, even though it's art and it's whatever, he still, is enslaved in it, and he's still.
Well, of course, prison is itself an institution in America.
Yeah, that's true too.
We got more people locked up per capita than China. It's a communist country. I mean, put that together. I mean, so he's trying to get out of this prison, and now he's getting chased. You know what I mean? By all these white folk. I will say that this girl right here, though, looks black, but the rest of them are clearly white people running. Chasing it.
He said, I kenneled him in the backyard, no proper life for a dog, for a big dog. And that's him getting out, too.
Right.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to escape.
Wait a minute, this isn't where I should be.
But notice it says, I kenneled him.
And then he comes out with this dog.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
well,
the song is like the answer to this.
That's him at the end,
Yeah.
right? But he says, I kenneled him in the backyard. He doesn't say they kenneled me. Like,
but he made that choice.
He doesn't have a defeatist perspective because he's taking accountability for the fact that he took part in it. So he says it's not a proper life. So I'm out of here. He's running as fast as he can to get out, and the thing ends. So I think I think that there is probably application for everybody, but I think it's him calling out everybody in the music industry.
Yeah.
That he's basically saying art should not function as a distraction to the issues that are going on in our country.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Of course, conversely, a person could say that is the very reason we need the art. In other words, the counter argument to the whole thing could be saying it's not healthy to not have an outlet to not have to think about all the evil shit that's happening in the world.
Yeah, well, I think that there's a difference between, you know, like when the soldiers would be out fighting and then they would bring in people to sing and stuff for them to kind of like ease up the tension. But it wasn't like they weren't trying to paint a picture that there was no war going on. You know what I'm saying? They all understood there was a war. They were just trying to take a break from the mental, like the whole war atmosphere. But at the same time, they weren't trying to distract them and make them think there was no war, where the entertainment now is trying to get people to think that there's nothing actually going on. Like, some young people you talk to have no clue that there's actually things going on.
I don't know. I mean, it's a 24-hour news cycle.
But people are not watching the news.
What are you talking about?
Not everybody's watching the news. People are watching shows and...
I don't know, because I think nowadays people are dictating what happens in the news. For example, Philando Castile, that was a cell phone camera. You see what I'm saying? So now, because of social media and things like that, you have normal citizens that are dictating the news, that are creating the news.
Yeah.
That the news companies are saying, okay, we got to buy that cell phone. So the other side of this whole argument would be, you're completely misinterpreting this. He's not saying that the artists are functioning as a distraction, because it's impossible to be distracted, because you're inundated. Anytime, Las Vegas, any of these things, you're inundated with what happened on a 24-hour cycle. I get most of my breaking news from Facebook. So how is it? So the counter argument would be, how is it possible that anybody is really distracted? So they would say that distraction theory is crazy. Because
so you're saying people are allowing themselves to be distracted from the major issues?
Well, what I'm saying is a person could make the argument that it's healthy to be distracted, because we are unnaturally inundated with all the horrible news and all the terribleness that happens on a given day.
Yeah, but a lot of people think, oh, that's not really happening. This isn't really happening. Like, when people are...
Who thinks that?
Oh, you want me to name people? I can't name people.
Well, no, you're talking about the racial issue. You're talking about, like, black folks aren't really getting killed in the streets or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, that. Other things where people don't want to actually admit what's actually going on, even though they're seeing it.
Yeah, but that wasn't the younger generation. And those same people who are saying black folks aren't getting killed in the street, they're not watching a rap video. They're not getting distracted by Childish Gambino. They don't even know who he is.
True.
You know, those are people who are just, they're not going to... facts aren't going to really change anything for them regardless.
I see.
So, all I'm saying, I'm playing devil's advocate that we could be misinterpreting this whole thing, and he could be saying, you need, in a world of the NRA and the right wing and the left wing and Jimmy Kimmel and all this and Colin Kaepernick, you need a sort of healthy outlet to be able to, like, still get your dance on and still feel like, things are good. Well, what's your thoughts?
No, I don't like that. I don't like that idea, because I feel like that's not... No, I disagree with you, and I don't know how political I can get on this. That's why I'm holding back. So, like, when you think about the LGBTQ, I don't know the endings for that, but when you think about their community and the percentage that they make up of our population, they started bringing it into the arts, and that's kind of how people got acclimated to it. True. And they presented it in such a way where the character in the show that was representing them was a type of person that you really liked, and you know people were mean to him, and you wanted them to be nice to him.
It was accessible,
He's very accessible, but I don't feel like that's being done with other issues. I think that they did very well bringing across their point through the arts, but I don't think that that's happening with other stuff, because it's, have you ever seen anything in the arts about the, you know, where it's being presented in such a way where people feel like, hey, we have to listen to the other sides of even like the black struggle or things like that? Like, I mean, what things have you seen? Maybe I haven't seen these same things.
Well, you haven't, because you haven't been exposed to those things.
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
So you had, you know, I mean, you have movies like Glory, you have movies like Malcolm X. You just saw the Malcolm X movie a year ago.
Yeah, but that doesn't... No, but that doesn't paint Malcolm X like the type of person where you're like, oh, like we should actually start listening to, like...
What do you mean? It changed your mind on Malcolm?
I think that I have a personal, you know, I have some reason why I want to hear the man out. You know, but like other, you know, like what I'm saying is people that did not agree with, and I'm sorry I'm not using the political words, but I have to simplify it for myself to explain myself. So most people that did not agree with homosexuality, when they saw the shows and, you know, like the homosexual characters coming in, or Ellen, and they were all, you know, it kind of like just kind of pulled on their heartstrings.
Will and Grace,
well, Malcolm X doesn't pull on anybody's heartstrings.
Pulled on mine?
Because you are black! What are we talking about here? Of course it did! I'm saying for other people, so people that hated homosexuals, when they saw those characters, well, you know, like, let's listen to people a little bit. You know, it kind of changed people's mindset.
Who are you talking about?
What do you mean, who am I talking about?
The same people who wouldn't be affected by Malcolm X are the same people who would not be affected by Will and Grace or Ellen or anything like that.
I don't agree. I think that the way that it was slowly kind of brought in and kind of people became aware of the way that homosexuals were being treated and the things that were happening to them as a result of people's homophobia, then I think that the same thing slowly people would have to be, but it's not coming in slowly. All of a sudden we're like turning on Facebook and we're seeing black people being shot outside of their car, in their car with their kid in the back seat. That's not slowly coming at you in a way that makes, you know, a lot of people just want to get defensive and say, well, you know, he must have done something. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to say, well, are we really, is this what's really happening? Is this really what, you know what I'm saying? It's not slowly being introduced to us in a way that...
I think that you are naive. And I think that you think that people think like you. And a lot of people don't.
What are you talking about?
I don't think...
You don't think there's a slow way to introduce it, or you think it's being slowly introduced?
There's no way to slowly... There's no way... We have a certain contingent of people in this country who, it doesn't matter what they see, they're not going to care, regardless. Whether it's a sympathetic character on TV, whether it's you know, it doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
So what I'm saying is, that being the case... Art and being able to dance and being able to have a context where you can party and have fun and actually have some semblance of a childhood may not be a bad thing. I mean, the guy in the video, he's supposed to be a bad guy. You know, a lot of people are portraying it, oh, he's a distraction device and all this. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, I was reading a story about these people in a concentration camp, and they used to have these dances in the concentration camp. Was that bad?
No, because they knew what the issues were at hand.
Well, I think your average kid in this country is more woke to what's going on in the country than we definitely were when we were their age. Everybody talks all this shit about millennials that they don't know what's going on. They know what's going on.
I agree, and I think that Facebook has a lot to do with that.
And these kids are active as hell, man. They're going out, doing walkouts and all that shit. Agree with them or not, all I'm saying is that these kids are not... Like, they're pretty intelligent and they're pretty active about, you know, getting out there. True. So then I say to myself, well, is it healthy for them to be like completely inundated with that stuff all the time? Shouldn't they have an area where they can dance and have fun and like be 16 and 17 years old?
Yes.
Should they always be like...
No.
All right, so then in that sense that the guy's not that bad of a guy. Of course, my interpretation doesn't go with the rest of the video. I don't think that anybody's going to agree with me, but at the same time, I'm like, to me, the video points out a fundamental underestimation of the youth of our country. I think this video would have probably been pertinent, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. But I think this current set of youth that we have in America right now, like, you can't play with them. They're not very easy, you know, like, they know what's going on. They know what's going on. They know how to access news. And the other thing is they have different outlets. Like when we were coming up, you had CNN and Fox News.
And that's it.
And again, like I said, say what you want, but you've got Young Turks. You've got progressive stations. You've got, you've got YouTube. Say what you want. But
no, it's true.
Just because they're not located in some building in New York doesn't mean that it's not a legit news outlet.
Yep.
So they have mechanisms and tools to understand reality in ways that are completely different than us. I saw a kid, he's 17, 18 years old. He's got his own news channel. He's a far-right guy, and he's criticizing the progressives. Great! So I think that these youth, like, I think that they know their stuff. They get mocked, they look down on, everybody wants to make fun of millennials. Say what you want about them, but I've met a lot of these 16, 17-year-olds, and I've seen a lot of them do some really impressive shit. I mean, they forced Trump to pull back on one of his NRA things. And again, I'm not saying whether that's good or bad. All I'm saying is that today's youth, when we were kids and Columbine happened, it was like, oh shit, Columbine happened. And it was like, we survived, great.
Right, yeah, you're right.
These kids got shot up and they're like, listen.
You're right, yeah.
We're going to organize an entire thing. It's going to walk out across the country. We're going to have a thing. It's 50,000 people. And of course, people were absolutely horrible to these kids. But it's like, should they be at war 24/7? I think they should be able to party once in a while.
Yeah. No,
we got to do it. Well, you didn't get to do it. But, we got to party. We got to go clubbing. We got to look forward to Friday night and good music and, getting in trouble and all that shit. These kids are just supposed to be 24/7 at war.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. I think that there's a good place for pop music and artistry and distraction. I think it's good for their mental health.
You're probably right.
Anyway, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think. 2 interpretations, hour-long video. There you go. Vin out.
Sori out.
What do you? Oh, we usually rate the song. What do you rate the song?
Ugh.
The song was weak sauce to me.
I didn't really like it.
I didn't like it at all, especially as a rap song. I thought it was a weak sauce song, but I gave the video a like 9.5.
Whoa.
Because the visuals were crazy, and you had to watch it like 4 or 5 times to really feel the. And we probably missed a whole bunch of stuff. So I gave the video 9.5. Probably, I'll tell you what, it's a video of the year right now, for me. And we've watched a ton of videos because this is what we do.
Right.
This is our career. We review videos for a living. Dying because we haven't
because we're not making
we haven't made a dime.
Right now, so.
But we love it. So hey, we're entertainment. All right. So what did you rate the video?
The video part?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll give it an 8.
She gives it an 8. What a disaster. All right. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.